Okay, so this is your midterm exam practical test. You already did one example of 3D modeling basic, your exercise 6. So now this is your midterm exam. So this is a finished work. Which you will do, of course. So you will be given the dimensions of this object, okay, for you to be able to draw this in 3D solid model. So you can find that in the Moodle here, or later I will send in the GC so that you will use this as reference. What are the dimensions of this object? Okay, so let's begin. So I create a new file. Okay, I will turn off the grid because I prefer that there is no grid in the screen. Then since I was doing also 2D CAD, so right now I am in the 2D drafting and annotation. So I'll set this again to 3D modeling. Okay, so because I already know the dimensions of that object, so no need for me to do what I did in your exercise 6, creating two viewports. The viewport at the left is for the display of the sample of the drawing and the dimensions, but for now I'll just keep it as single, and later I will set this to 3 viewports, right? Okay, when I will be finished. Okay, so let's start. Of course, for you, you have to name it to midterm exam practical test, but for me, I will no need for me to name it because this is just a demonstration. I already made one, this one. Okay. So this is a save work already. So here it's a demo, so I will not save this. But for you, you have to give a proper file name for that. Okay, so let's begin. Again, there are several ways to create 3D objects, but as I said, we start first with these solid modeling commands. So we start with box. Okay, so check again the drawings for the dimensions. Okay, here, so I create first. Before that, we have to set this to southeast isometric. We are doing it in the third angle projection. Okay, so you click here, so look for this, or you can go to view and click here, southeast isometric. Okay, but let's say we try to familiarize using that other option here. So click this, southeast isometric. Okay, now let's begin. And of course also, so I'll go back to solid. The visual styles, I'm still in 2D wireframe. So it's up to you if you automatically or you immediately select the visual style shaded, for example. Okay, so let's say we'll use shaded. Then, so I click box. As I said, there are so many ways to do, but now we will be using box for now. Box, click, length is 2, and width is 4, okay, and height is 4. Okay. Then we'll use the command solid editing, find this chamfer edge, okay. So set the distance, so select this distance, then that will be based on the drawing, the dimension, so that will be 1, enter, and the second distance 1, enter. Then you click these two edges and press enter, okay. And the next box, click. Since the dimension of that is all sides are the same, so you have to select cube, then type 2. That's quick. Then the third one, the cylinder, okay. So take note that the direction of creating the height, for example, is following the third coordinate, the Z, okay. So we have to set this to front. So we can type, let's say, for example, UCS, okay. Then the Z axis is, you click and click to the front your cursor, click. So now it's facing front, the Z, okay. But the faster way, especially in the later versions, because in the much earlier versions, there is no option for that. You have to type the command, for example, UCS. So you go to visualize and find it here, okay. So right now it is unnamed, so you can click this and select the front, okay. So same result. Then we can now go back to solid and select the cylinder, okay. So we draw two cylinders. The first cylinder, the outer one, the outer diameter, has a diameter of 3. So you have to select or type D, enter, or select this, click this diameter, and type 3. Then we will be asked for the height. So the height of this, but it's going in the horizontal direction because that is the direction of the Z. So type 4, enter. Then another cylinder, okay. Click, then diameter, then 2, enter, then same height 4, enter, okay. Then we can join these two cylinders, so find the center of the cylinder. So you already know by now how to show or find it by putting your cursor in along the circle, okay. Click, and then same here, find the center and click here. Then we will put this in the middle of this, okay. So we can start putting this, for example. So find the midpoint of this edge, this one, click, and put here. So find the quadrant, okay, click. Then we have to move again to the center by 1. So move by 1. And another 1. Should be actually 2. Okay. So now it's in the middle. Then we can subtract this to create a hole here. We have to subtract this smaller cylinder from the bigger cylinder. So we will use the command here under the Boolean operations, the subtract. Click this. So select first the object to subtract from. Okay, so click this, then press enter, then select the object to subtract. So find that. Okay, here. So for example, let's say you have a hard time showing that smaller cylinder. So we can set this back first to the wireframe. So there is your smaller cylinder. Okay, so we repeat again the Boolean operation, subtract. Okay, so subtract, the first selection should be the objects to subtract from. So this cube and this bigger cylinder. Then enter. Then select the cylinder to subtract. Click and then enter. Now if you put it, show it to the shaded visual style, so you can see the result when you subtract that small cylinder from the cube and the bigger cylinder. Okay, so I'll set this back to southeast first. Then we can put now these joined objects to this another object. So we use the command move. So if you are still not familiar typing the command move, which is M, if you want to see that in the toolbars, it's here. Go back to home and this one. Okay, move, select, enter, then find the midpoint of this edge, and find also the midpoint of this top edge, okay, or from the bottom also here. So let's say I'll select from the top midpoint, click, then move again this part, enter, click, enter, then going down 1, enter. So now you join, you not yet join, but you put them together, but still these are not yet joined or joined or union. So we have to, because now for example click this, so this is one object and this one is another object, so we will make this as these two as one object. So we will use the command union. So click here in the solid and click this command union, solid union, select both, enter. So it's done. So when you click, so it's already as one object. Now, so you're finished with your 3D drawing. Now we set this to 3 views. So again, you can type viewport, or if you show the toolbar menus here at the top, no, it's not shown. Okay, but we can, for example, if you're interested how to show it. Okay, so these are the tabs. and we will show the menu bars, menu tabs. So you can type menu bar, okay, click this and set to value 1. Type 1 here and enter. So now you see at the top there's another menu. Actually, this is this example of the display is from the older versions. Okay. So, for example, we'll find the viewport. So here in the view, then viewports. But as I said, you can type here the command viewports. So viewport. Then select 3 right. Okay. Then zoom this just enough to occupy the space, for example. So better use the command zoom, then window selection, zoom window. Okay, same here. So but in here we will set this to top view. So it's there. So zoom again. So the fastest is zoom window. Okay. And then set that to hidden top view. Then this one. So click here. Then change to hidden. Then set to front. Okay. Then another option in zooming also is object. So zoom, then select the object. You can click this object, enter. But this is a there's no space from the viewport. So let's zoom it out and then make the command zoom and then just window again. Say like this. Or I start from the right. Okay. Then last one. So I'll just zoom this in. The third one, third viewport, the isometric. Zoom out. Then you are finished.